poignant moment in the life of the school. It was both the beginning and an ending. Was a student trip to Rome at Easter. It was at that time Lord's health was failing, and we've got a couple who were there. If y'all would tell us that story, what that was. And if you could introduce Jen, if you want to.
Obviously, the one thing that I certainly remember about the trip was being a witness to Pope John Paul II's final public blessing. We arrived that day and we stood in the courtyard, and we were all exhausted from traveling. We were all kind of jazzed up and energized because you know, we didn't know, was he going to be able to, was he not going to be there? Okay, we'll just wait here, we'll see what happens. And then all of a sudden, just the crowd went quiet. And you can imagine, I couldn't even tell you how many people were there. There were students our age chanting in different languages. There were adults, there were small children that were running around. And I mean, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. But Pope John Paul, he did not come to the balcony until afterwards, but he did speak through a microphone. And it was just to hear his voice and to experience a part of that aura that you were talking about earlier was just, you can't put it into words. And you're very right, you did want to be good for a very long time. it was awe-inspiring. And then to find out on the plane ride back that he had passed, and I remember Deacon Edwards telling us, and I mean, between delayed flights and being very tired, I just remember all of us just taking it in. But there really are no words to describe what it was like in that courtyard, and to experience the universality of the Catholic Church in that one moment, and to experience all the different languages and, you know, all the different countries coming together and sharing that one moment together in prayer. You can't describe it. But
you remember where we slept on our flight back?
Yes, we did sleep in the I don't know, was it Delta or U.S. Air welcome desk area? That's where we slept.
Some people actually slept on the luggage conveyors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we got back just a little too late to get our next flight out. And we had to wait till the next morning, and they wouldn't let us go through to even be in the waiting areas to get on a flight. And all of that, you know, hardly sleeping that night, only then to come to the airport in Nashville, and unexpectedly, really, to have television cameras looking for our take on the experience, since it had just happened, this passing.
Being a 16-year-old little high school girl, that was a little overwhelming. Traveling for what, 26 plus hours, and then having that happen. But I don't know, it was worth it. It was worth it.
And Julianne, I think you were one of those students who was asked to come to the school because they were also swarming at JPII to see what our response as a school was.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Mr. Berkman called me, like, what was it, 8 o'clock at night on Sunday night. Said, can you be at JPII in 20 minutes? You know, we have a news crew coming. And, you know, I'm like, oh my goodness. And my mom was like, what do I say? Because I just felt like there was so much pressure as a 16-year-old. But you just think about, like, it wasn't hard because you think about the Pope and how much he, Pope John Paul II cared about the youth. And it's just something that JPII, and I noticed with all the teachers, do that. So, I mean, I don't really remember anything that I said that night. But it's just, there's, you know, he just believes so much about us. And it's just, like you said, like awe-inspiring, and you just feel so loved. And I never went to an audience of the Pope or anything, but you still feel, you know, just this warmth that came from him. And so it was very interesting to, you know, be able to talk about it to a wider audience than just people at JPII.